Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Hack Factory. Today I am with none other than Johnny Moe, live. Well, at least he's live, coming from beautiful New Hampshire.
Live free or die, baby.
Johnny, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you. I love conversing with you because you get it.
Sometimes I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't get it.
Truth, man.
Well, one of the things that you got recently going on is your Explore My Town. And you and I have had some in-depth conversations about it recently. And I really felt it was a good topic to share with the group here and tell them about it, because you know how much I struggle with doing exactly what you have just put into a package, doing the videos, doing editing, doing all of that stuff. And now it's in a package form, which is freaking awesome. It's absolutely great. So I'm going to let you take over and tell everyone exactly what it is and how it works and why you're doing it and what hat size you wear. So.
Oh yeah, what hat size I wear is very important because I do love hats. I actually said to somebody last night, I need to get like a dress-up hat because I don't have. I mean, I'm getting old. It's getting thin up there, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get a dress-up hat. Anyway. Well, thanks for doing this. Yeah, and it's kind of I've struggled with 6 months on exactly how to say it because I want to, just like every other salesperson, agent, LO out there, we want to give you all the information like a fire hose. And what I found out is, well, I already knew this, but it's what we do and how we do it are two different things. So basically what I will say is what we do is, and what we are is, we're building a national media company with a focus to bring attention to small business owners in the community, right? And what we do is we position our local partners, like when you and I talked about Charleston, we're going to position, there's a particular methodology to follow and everything else like that. And we're going to position our partners and, if it's a team or brokerage, the agents as well as local influencers. And we cater basically to busy community-centric professionals. Doesn't always have to be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Command high visibility, and I think that's the important part. That is the defining factor, which is going to be the definition or the defining factor between success and failure over the coming years. Who's got the most attention of the community?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I mean, typically, you'll see a lot of real estate agents putting their face with a little something on the shopping carts in the local grocery stores. And it's like, that is just not really a lot of good exposure right there.
No, it's really not. And, there's 1.5 billion real estate agents, billion with an M. Real estate, it feels like 1.5 billion on there.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
But there's 1.2, 1.5 billion real estate agents out there, a million real estate agents out there, right? Websites, and I mean, tens of millions of websites. What are you doing to stand out differently?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key. What are you doing differently? Everybody's going to sign up with the Z or the RDC or spend money on Facebook ads to what? Regurgitate the same message. And that's all they do. They've been inculcated with this particular methodology, and the ones that break free a little bit, and the ones that do video, the ones that are building YouTube channels, they're standing out. They're making money from doing it. Networking has always been the number one money maker for me. Because when I was in the business, when I got into the business, there was no Zillow, right? There was no Facebook. I had to do what a lot of people are very reluctant to do now, and that was go to Chamber of Commerce meetings. That was to get involved in charities. Now, I still do that stuff, and I still believe in that stuff, and I'm doing it on a national level now. But that's where the money is made, in the relationships. Online, why do we get online leads? So we can have a relationship. But if everybody's running that home value lead, if everybody's running, we're hiring, nobody's standing out. You're just blending into the noise. There's a thing I learned. I was a network engineer during the .com, Keith. And I worked for a company called CMGI. Can't make good investments is what we used to joke, but it actually stood for College Marketing Group. I was Internet, and they were an incubation company. They've started years prior selling lists to to book people, and they would buy the professors that were teaching. Anyways, we had 7,500 employees that we were directly responsible for, and one of the companies. We had 150 companies. One of the companies was Engage, who had just bought AdSmart, and it was all around cookie tracking, advertisement placement, and that whole realm. And what I learned from them was that there's a thing out there called banner blindness. So when we're online, even on Facebook, on desktop, and we see the ads and stuff, we're just going right by them. We know they're ads, so we're not even giving any attention to them. Our subconscious already knows. So if you're continuing to be like everybody else, you're just part of the noise. You got to have a pattern interrupt, be different, do something different, right? Talk about chicken wings and people will tune in.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember those days too. I've been in this, I think just a hair longer than you have. And we were big back in networking, and I was still doing it up until really January of this year. Mm-hmm. And, I took a little break, took a little hiatus, going back in spring and start the local group again, or restart the local group. And then, of course, we got hit with the vid, along the way. So that kind of put the kibosh on that. But we're still doing, virtual networking, and that works pretty well. Mm-hmm. You just don't have the same interaction, though. You're missing that little touch, You're
missing the person-to-person energy connection.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that is kind of like, when people say, well, what do you do? That's what we do, right? And how do we do it? We provide a concierge video production and marketing solution that builds influence and gets results while promoting a support local philosophy. And we do it all on the community-based websites that we built. We built a system, and if you're in an area, everything is tailored to your area, the schools, the restaurants, the businesses, the deals, all that kind of stuff, the events. And the goal is to produce good quality video. Yeah, obviously it's hosted on YouTube, and then we also feed a Facebook community page to the site. So on my websites, you have YouTube and Facebook all commingling together, which is pixelated. And then what we do is we drive traffic to it so we can retarget them. Yeah. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, well, it sounds so simple. Everyone should do it then. I mean, it's just awesome. I was talking from experience, when we started this conversation a couple of minutes ago. I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing videos, going on location, doing shoots, doing all this stuff. And then, for the folks that haven't done it, it's a job in itself. Never mind the scheduling, never mind weather, never mind all the other things that could happen. But once you get it done, that's just the beginning. The video part's just the beginning, because now you have to edit it, you have to produce it, you have to do all that stuff with it, and then you have to get it out. You have to not only just put it online, but you have to know how to get it out so people actually get to see it.
Absolutely.
And that's, that, like I said, that's really a job in itself. So, I think you picked up on my enthusiasm when you first told me about it and what you were up to. I'm like, man, that's like, you're the goose that laid the golden egg, man. It takes it all off my plate, with the exception of actually having to do the video, which is, like I said, that's the easy part.
And that's exactly. Listen, man, I'm no stranger to this game. I'm no stranger to real estate agents, brokers, loan offices. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm pretty well connected in some circles. I have built a software company and was able to exit it and stuff like that. I built a training company, which is parts of it have been merged with another company. So, I mean, I've done a lot of stuff on a really cool high level. And I'm the worst employee because I'm always looking for ways to fix things and how can we make it more efficient and what are the deficiencies that we're feeling. And what pisses me off about our industry is it's often outsiders that are coming in telling us what we need. I've been in the trenches. I've sold $150 million worth of real estate. You know what I mean? I've made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. RE/MAX Hall of Fame, helped build a Keller Williams Market Center top 5, and you know what I mean? Train there and everything. I've done a lot of stuff in those trenches. And I can say what the market needs, the industry needs. I know 2 entrepreneurs that have come into our business trying to tell us what we need, and they both are out of business with that particular venture now.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. You see them every day, and they prey on real estate agents because they're just such an easy target. Because, as you know, most real estate agents are squirrels. You need to be in this business, right? Every shiny thing that they see, they run after. So how easy is it to say, hey, set it and forget it? You'll wake up tomorrow to have 6 new listings in your inbox. You won't have to lift a finger. I mean, they're full of crap. They're full of shit. Let's just put it that way.
100% full. You're going to buy it. They're going to be gone in a year or two.
Yeah, but they have no idea what it is. And I was reading one a little bit earlier today, and the come on was so incredible. It's like, get the leads. You're going to get listing after listing, and you'll have an exclusive territory that no one else can touch for years to come, and you can blah blah blah. And I'm like, so I'm reading now the fine print, and the cost was just astronomical. And then, I had to go to the next step, which was, let's check them out on Facebook. Let's check them out, everywhere else on Google. And,
let's get in that funnel.
It was just like absolute crap at that point. It was shit. It was like, not that I had any interest in it, because I don't buy leads, and that's what they were trying to do, is sell leads. But, again, that's what they do, is they prey on the real estate agents, and, they have no business being in the business. Just because, you sell a car doesn't mean that, you can get into the real estate business and have them, start buying cars and building cars and fixing cars just because you're going to give them whatever in return for leads, just saying, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Everybody's preying on it when at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you, the individual. I've never once, I've coached, I've trained, I onboarded associations. I never tell people that I'm going to get them business, right? I don't. Because ultimately, I can do everything right from my side, but if you suck, then you suck, and it's nothing. You know what I mean? So it comes down to the individual doing the work. And what I've really done is, from a high level, say, why are not more people doing this? Facebook says 80% of the traffic is video. YouTube is the second largest search engine, owned by the most popular search engine, Google. Instagram is got IGTV, and they're doing a bunch of change arounds. YouTube is coming out with shorts, or has come out with shorts, right? Look at what's going on with TikTok, which I can't stand. I would rather do professional looking videos. It's not me. So right. I can't be authentic not being me. And I would rather build a series around my community and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't know how to do it. They don't know what to say. We do everything. We helped you with scripting. We build scripts together. We show you how to build scripts. Really simple process. Me being a coach, I got it down to 1, 2, 3. Do this, do this, do this, right? All you have to do is go shoot the video. We take care of the rest. We'll have it edited. We'll put in the lower thirds. We'll put in the titles, exits, all that stuff. Follow the scripts, right? Follow the methodology. And then next thing you know, what's going to happen is you're going to be so busy. People are going to be reaching out to you to be interviewed, to be showcased, and all this other stuff. And, you start working with the Chamber of Commerce. You start working with local businesses. Next thing you know, you're building something completely different that nobody in your market will do.
Right.
You're stepping out on another level. And next thing you know, you're not a real estate agent. A real estate agent's nothing more than a salesperson. That's what they are. They're salespeople. Most of them are not business owners, so they don't know how to run a business. But next thing you elevated yourself. You elevated yourself. You're around other people. And I'm not trying to talk ill about real estate agents. I love them. Been one. I just know the deficiencies that they have, right?
Yeah. So, exactly to your point, and I mentioned this maybe last week or earlier this week when we were having a chat, but I got a very, very odd question yesterday. So I went on a listing appointment, and I still sell real estate. I do it all the time. I have a team. I've been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. And the guy did his homework as well. And let me tell you how I got to the lead. This lead came from my weekly video newsletter that goes out. So we produce one every single week, and it goes out to whatever the database is, 6,500, 7,000 people. But then it also goes on to YouTube and other places. Anyway, that's where the lead came from. He reached out to me. Beautiful. I went and saw him. He's got his computer in front of him, sitting at the kitchen table when I get there. And he just started out saying this: I have to ask you. He said, how do you sell real estate? Not like how do you sell real estate, but how do you do it in addition to all the other things that you're doing? Because I see you online everywhere. You're doing Rainmakers Unlimited, which is teaching new real estate agents, like the pitfalls. I think I might have shared that with you. You know, how to survive your first 30 days from real estate. You know, you're a coach or you're a trainer. You're doing all these different things. You're a team leader. You own the company, and you're a broker, and you're actually selling property. How do you actually do all of that? And you know, those are the kind of questions that I love to get. You know, number one, it shows that people are paying attention, and two, it shows that, hey, it actually works. This methodology, this system works. And, you know, so there's a $750,000 listing. I'll walk away, you know, with a nice chunk of change for simply sitting for 20 minutes,
Beautiful.
doing a video and just putting it out there. It's really, you know, kind of that part's simple. But
you know what 90% of 90% of it is? Just doing it.
Yeah.
Just doing it, putting it out there. Hell, I know a girl that just does Facebook Live 3 times a week, and she's busy. She's where she wants to be with her goals and everything. She doesn't need to be a $30 million producer. She's happy at doing what she does, which is, I think, between 10 and 15.
Yeah.
Perfectly happy. I have a friend of mine years ago. His goal was it was a 3 times 100 goal. I want to make 100,000 net per year. I want to play 100 rounds of golf, and I want 100 days off.
Wow.
And he that, you know what I mean? So everybody's different, but when you're able to attract business,
Right.
completely different. I attract business. I don't go chasing it, you know, cold calling, all that stuff. Yeah, I've trained on it. Yeah, I've done it. And what I realized is, listen, NAR puts this out every year. Don't listen to me. Listen to Facebook, listen to YouTube, listen to Google, listen to NAR, because the best thing, in my opinion, that NAR does every year is they come out with the profile of buyer and sellers. And it's like 100 pages of great data. And inside of that, and it ends up breaking down to, it's like 73 and 68% sellers and buyers found their agent because they either used them previously,
Right.
it was recommended to them, they were a friend, a family, or member, or they just knew them from the community. And then, you know, business, then it gets down to like 1%, 2%. It was a relocation or something like that. So that's saying that the majority, 70 and 68% of your business is coming from people you know, or people who know people you know.
That is an excellent point. And this is how I explain it to people when they ask me why I'm doing videos and why I'm engaging the way that I am. And it's really simple. Those stats that you were just talking about, it's like 68% of people will use the very first real estate agent that they speak to. But that number goes up to something like 87% with the first agent that they meet. Now, let's follow the bouncing ball here. If you're doing video, and let's just say, and take a step backwards, when you were growing up, or even today, you have a favorite TV show, I'm sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you probably have a favorite character, right?
Yeah.
And you probably feel like you know that character, right?
I did. Hannah Montana is different, though.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. You relate with the person. You feel like you know them.
Right. So, you know, and it's funny, you know, and I tell this story a lot. You know, I go around town and some people do double takes. You know, they'll look at me, you know, kind of funny, and you know, some people will actually come up to me and say, "Hey, you know, I've seen your videos and blah blah blah." And it was funny. I had some folks in here that were bringing in an appliance or something into my house, and the guy that was bringing it in, he kept kind of looking at me, glancing at me, and I thought that was a little bit weird. But anyway, as he's leaving, he really took a hard look, and he says, "You know, I think I might know you." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I do porn." I'm like, "No, really, you probably saw one of my videos."
That's
And he's like,
that too.
yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you go ahead and use that. That's a good line." But you know, I'm like, "Yeah, you know, you obviously saw, you know, some of my videos." He's like, "Yeah, that's right. You're that real estate guy, and you're talking about this and this and this." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." So you know, it's really cool. You know, it happens. And back in the day when we had the ability to drop pins in Facebook, you know, when we're selling real estate, now you can't do that. But I had a seller that had a house down here, but he lived in a different part of the state. And this was his vacation home, was on the beach. And, you know, he came from that newsletter as well, the video newsletter. And, but that's all he really ever saw. He never knew me, met me, never saw any of my marketing that was taking place here. So I dropped the pin on him, And for like $2 a day, and I switched it up to about 3 different videos for about 10 days, just fed the videos right to his house within 1 mile. Anytime he or his wife got on Facebook, guess who they're seeing? They're seeing me. When I met him in person 3 weeks later, he's like, "You are so much taller in person than you are in your videos." Like, yeah, well, I'm usually sitting down during the videos, but.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, you can't drop the pin on them, but you can add them to a custom audience.
Well, that you can, yes.
Oh, now, yeah. So if you know what you're doing, so I mean, that's a huge part. And basically, what you're doing is, I love using the word inculcate because I learned it about a month ago. So what you're doing though is
now I'm going to have to look it up.
Burning the image of you. That's branding. That's
Right.
branding one, right? Now, when they're thinking, I'm going to go talk to this guy because I already like what he's saying. You can tell that they're authentic. You can tell that they're contributive to the community or to the businesses or whatever like that. You can tell that they're not Chucky Fast Talker, right? And so do I go with this guy that, man, I see him everywhere, or do I go with Chucky Fast Talker and, oh, man, they're going to make me sign forms right away, or, oh, where's the pre-approval and all this other stuff? You know what I mean? That first conversation stuff. Oh, I hate the first conversation.
Yeah, and it's a great icebreaker. People they relate to you. They feel like they know you. It builds that sense of trust. And
yes, sir, right there. That is the key.
Yeah, and that's it. And so it's so hard sometimes when you walk in to meet someone for the very first time, and your goal is you really have to sell yourself first. I mean, because if you're not selling yourself first, they're never going to buy into you and hire you for that job. So
if you get a phone number, if you get somebody's name to check out, what's the first thing you do?
I typically, well, it depends on who it is, but typically we'll Google them to find out.
You don't know if your clients are doing the same?
Of course. Of course. I mean, that happened to me yesterday. The guy had me pulled up on his screen when I got there. He actually had another appointment that he pushed, a doctor's appointment. He pushed it so he could meet with me yesterday. Wow. So it was just like, it happens. And I tell my agents this, and anyone that really will listen, you got to have your Facebook profile up. You have to have every single link that you could possibly have to yourself up and accessible. Don't be a secret agent. You can't be. If you're going to be a secret agent in this business, you're going to be out of business real fast. And that's kind of the bottom line with it. So be visible, be everywhere, be authentic, be yourself. Don't try to be some phony. Don't dress up in a $300 suit or $1,000 suit and go rent a Range Rover for the day and pretend that that's who you are. Mm-hmm. They're going to see right through that.
You show up in a Camry.
Yeah, show up in a Camry. People show up in a Camry all the time.
But yeah, be authentic. I think the key is be authentic, be contributive. I went and did a shot the other day. I still do this so I can prove to everybody, hey man, here I am building automations and softwares and helping, hundreds of agents and everything else like that, moderating this group, building that, controlling this. I'm still going to shoot video. Right. Yeah. And I got there. I usually schedule an hour and a half. I was there for 2.5 hours. I enjoyed the people's company so much and loved their story because for me, I'm all about the support local thing. I'm all about helping the little guy, especially with the vid out there destroying businesses, right? Yeah. And people losing money. They loved it. They got free press. I made them like 5 shorts too because I brought my daughter to film. I'm like, hey man, he's cooking. Just hit go. Yeah. And you know how I do all this with this, an iPhone.
Yeah.
And this is called the Switch Pod. I don't have anything fancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's all you need. I've got the same thing, a gimbal. The only thing extra that I really use is mic, and that's about it.
A lav mic. I got this Rode Micro Mini, and I got an attachable light.
Whoa. Yeah. My Rode kind of throws my gimbal off if I put it on there. I got to rebalance it. I'm like, screw that. I'll just plug it in. And
I got a Smooth 4 sitting right down there, but I love this little thing because it's manual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, looks cool. Yeah, I have the Smooth thing as well, and I've got another one that I like actually a little better. But it doesn't take a lot of money to do it. You already have the most important component. You already have your cell phone. Okay, these things are taking video in 4K. You know, the new version coming out soon, I know is going to 8K. You have 5G connections, so you should have no problem at all doing anything.
No, and I take mine in 1080, 60, I think it's 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
And more the 60 frames per second than the 1080. And I do 1080 versus 4K just for memory, because I mean 4K is like triple the memory than 1080, right? Or quadruple.
Quadruple, yeah.
So you know, I don't want to run out of space, but even shooting at 1080 and 60 frames per second FPS is a huge difference. But and they're in your settings. Go play with your settings. See which one looks cooler.
Yeah, and actually, you know, I don't have an iPhone. I'm on the dark side. I don't play with Apple. But
well, it was good talking to you anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think they have medicine for that now. But yeah, so using a Droid, the Samsung that I'm using, it's cool because as you're doing videos, it has just buttons that you can press on there for like doing an instant zoom or an instant zoom out or whatever, or go standard look. It's really kind of cool. So it takes away maybe a little bit of that editing that you would need to do. But now that you're here with Explore My Town, I don't have to edit this stuff. Now I do some of my editing for my news, for my weekly news video, but you know, the package that you're offering, why don't we just dive into that a little bit deeper and chat about that? The package that you're offering, you know, to anyone out there that's been doing this or that even wants to do it, it's incredible the amount of time that you're going to save. And that's really what this group is about. You know, if you read our tagline here, it's to leverage your time and grow your business. This will leverage your time for you. There's no doubt about it. It's going to take so much off your plate and give you time to do other things like take listings or, you know, work with a buyer, actually money making things instead of doing this. This is very important, but if you can have someone like Johnny Moe take it off your plate for you, it's a time saver. It's a lifesaver. It's awesome to be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's why I did it, because, you know, coming from the coaching standpoint, I know a lot of people done for you, agents. There's a lot of agents out there that are going to figure it out on their own. I have figured it out on their own, but there's a lot of agents out there that don't have the time, and they know that it's needed. And I looked at it from a complete standpoint and said, why don't we bring all these components together? And how do I do that? This is a 3-year project that we put, you know what I mean? I had this scheduled 3 years ago. So it took us time to bring all these pieces together, test them out. And in some cases, certain pieces of technology needed to catch up to where we wanted to go. And yeah, that's what we do. So it's all, you know, community centric, support local and stuff. So we built out the infrastructure for that with the support the support Explore My Town community-based website. So that's exclusive. So we only work with one person in an area, and that hosts videos. We have a blueprint to follow. Obviously, there's certain videos that are going to live on, like your community video should be a showcase piece. You only need one. So that's one time, and you spend a little bit, and then there's ongoing stuff to keep the engagement up, right? And that's where we have the concierge that works with you, scripts the video, we get the video edited for you and everything like that. We have our own in-house and multiple different sources for editing. And the beauty there is, yeah, you can go on Fiverr and get somebody, you can go on Upwork and get somebody, then you got to explain it all to them, then you got to go through revisions and everything. We follow the same process, right? So it makes it streamlined. It makes it easy. We communicate, come up, you know, with the concierge, come up with the script, whatever you're doing. When you upload all your files to the Dropbox, then we go over it together. Okay, exactly what do you want? We relabel all of the and make comments. We relabel the title of the video, make comments. That way, when the editor gets it, the editor knows exactly what's going on, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, Fiverr, you know, I've used them before, and here's the reality with Fiverr. First of all, no longer is it Fiverr. It should be 500 or more.
Yeah.
Because that's reality. Because I've looked for video editors, and you know, I've settled for some guys that will do it for like $15.
Yeah.
But there's a language barrier, and then there's revisions, and then there's, you know, they disappear for a couple, 3 days, and it's like, wait a minute, you know, I need to get this video out. So then you look to the other side of things where they do have folks that are based locally here in the country somewhere, and their price tag goes up, you know, to $400 or $500. And it's like, wait a minute, for $400 or $500 for one video, what you're doing, I mean, that's, it's nowhere near that. And imagine if you put out 4 to 6 videos a month, how much is that costing you? You can, you might as well just, stick that editor in your spare bedroom and feed them, because that's what you're going to be doing is basically, taking care of that person. So, to be able to get the scripting, the concierge, the editing, the posting, and then of course, pushing it out, the ad spend to get it there, the money to go out. And to do that, you need to know how to do that. That's not something you just whip out and say, yeah, I'm just going to do. And a lot of people think they know how to do it. They hit that boost button and, boost now. It's like, yeah, you just pissed away whatever amount of money you decided to give them.
I agree. If you don't even know how to set up a good retargeting campaign. Like I have a head director of digital marketing. You know what I mean? That person's job is to make sure everything is set up properly. And so when you come in with that one video and people see it, then you got stuck into the funnel, what I call the vortex. You're going to be seeing all the other videos coming down the pike. And when you see one video and it's great about whatever you're doing, and then the next one comes, the next one's come. And that's the key, is that we have a blueprint of great content and keep you busy for the next 2 or 3 years anyways, filming it all. And the key is all about getting that engagement. But here's the kicker, and this didn't come to me until Nicole had her aha moment. I mean, I knew it, but I wasn't conscious of it, if you would. And I said, Nicole, she's been with us from the beginning from an admin, but she started her own Ann Arbor page, and now she's getting involved. She went to film this place the other day. She knew the bar manager. And when she got there, it was real nice martini and sushi, or martini and seafood place, right? Nice upscale joint. And the owner was there. They were introduced, and he said to her, "Thank you so much. This place has been open a decade, 10 years. Thank you so much for doing this. I have a lot of friends who are real estate agents. None of them have ever offered to help me, to promote my business, to do anything like this. We're going to be selling soon and buying something up north, the North Peninsula, buying a vacation place up north. I'm going to use you if that's okay." And that's when Nicole had the aha moment. So think about this. Networking is the most powerful thing. We already said that, because, referrals and stuff like that, that all comes through networking. And now all of a sudden you can start to network with other business owners, because you can go in there and say, hey, Keith, hey, listen, I love your business and everything else like that, and I'm part of a national media company, and what we do is we support local. And I'd love to do an interview with you or showcase your business. It doesn't cost you anything. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Where do I sign?
You and I are going to have lunch together, and we're going to plan it out. But if Chucky Fontaine comes up there, "Hey, Keith, how are you? I'm a local real estate agent, man. Love to get to know you. Is anybody that can help buy or sell any real estate? Love your referrals. Oh, by the way," oh, man, that shit is dead.
Well, you do that too well.
You know what I mean, though? That is dead. It still works, but man,
no, it doesn't.
I often say, here's the funny thing, right? Well, as agents, once you hit a certain level of success, you're actually interviewing the seller or the buyer if you want to work with them, right? Otherwise, you're referred out in the beginning, man. You're just trying to pay your bills. And so you'll work with anybody. But same thing with me. I ain't looking to work with everybody. Matter of fact, I don't want to work with everybody. I only want to work with the one. We talked the other day in Charleston, there's 7,500 real estate agents, roughly thereabout. I don't want to work with all of them. I just want to work with the one, not one, the right one, right? Somebody that's going to do it, somebody that gets it, somebody that understands it. Same thing in Sarasota, same thing in Orlando. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how'd you happen to know my nickname, The One?
Obi-Wan Kenobi told me.
Yeah, and to get back to your point, where you're doing that exaggeration just a minute ago, people don't like that, and I have to go back to that listing meeting I had yesterday, where he made a comment. I mean, this guy, I actually thought he was going to get in my car with me. Okay. I mean, he walked with me from outside the house all the way down the driveway to my car. I was going to open up the door for him. I thought he was going with me. But he stopped and he said, you know something? He said, I don't do business with people that approach me, that come to me. And I said, no, I totally get that. It's like, walking into a store and having that salesman rush up to you and, what do you want? What do you need? What can I get for you? That kind of pushy kind of person. And he said, I'm just so glad that I looked at your videos because, I reached out to you. And I'm like, I know. So we're good. He's like, yeah, we're good, because I wouldn't work with you if you were that person that you just did a minute ago with approaching me and trying to sell me on you or sell me something that you may or may not even know that I need. So, just another example, but
Traction, brother, and your clients are looking for you online. Listen, you want them to find you before they need you, and that's the key, right? And then here's the thing: when every person, Gary Vaynerchuk, all these people, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, all these people that have phenomenal, high-flying social media profiles will tell you that attention on social media attention is the currency of social media.
Right.
Attention is the currency on social media. That's the money. So, and here's the thing too, right? Is to do this stuff is great for like an introvert or like somebody else that wants to, like I'm a high D, somebody that wants to control the environment. You can control the environment. You're the only person in front of that camera, one or two people that you're interviewing, meeting with. So it takes out that whole intimidation of walking into a room of people you don't know. So now you can, when you walk into that room of people that you don't know, people are going to be like, oh, I see that person. Hey, aren't you so-and-so? And I can tell you something. A friend of mine, this is a big inspiration of mine. He's an agent out of Vancouver area. I think called Thousand Oaks, Little Oaks, something like that. Remax agent, Michael Thorne. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal. I mean, he was doing video before anybody even knew what it was. In 2016, when I got to sit down and have lunch with him, we're both at a Remax event together. He had 100,000 people following his community page. He was doing this way before anybody even heard of it. That's the whole reason I started to look at this in depth and learn about it 4 years. And I said, this is the future. Well, the future is now.
Yeah.
No, validated by the facts of Facebook, validated by the facts of NAR, validated by, he sells 400 houses a year, him and his team, roughly, right? And the movement police actually go to him to put out their bulletins because he has a bigger reach. And he told me my wife won't even let me go shopping with her anymore at the supermarket because it takes 3 to 4 hours because people are always talking, hey, you're so-and-so, hey, hey, I love that video that you did. And he goes, drives her nuts. But that will happen. It's happening with my clients. My partner's wife was guinea pig number 1. She's outright busy. We got businesses reaching, because I'm an admin on all these pages. I see the messages coming in. Businesses reaching out, Chamber of Commerce reaching out, all these people reaching out that want to be part of that energy. And when you create that ecosystem, my buddy Saul Klein, who's one of the most instrumental people in real estate technology and everything else like that, tells me he was preaching online communities 20 years ago. Here we are building online communities, and what we're doing is teach this thing called the lead generation quadrant. You can get business from calls, networking, online, some sort, or traditional, radical, different things. Just so postcards or tips. Right? And we're taking the networking aspect and bringing it online, and now you bring something valuable. Because everybody wants to be seen in the community spotlight. So if you got all these other business owners, financial planners, you start to put series together, people want to be around you, around your energy. They want to be featured on the show. They're going to beg and hope that you ask them.
Yeah, no, you're right. And in today's environment, especially because, if you've got a couple of brain cells floating around in your head, that the amount of eyeballs because of the vid is online right now. That's where everyone's turned to. And it's amazing to see how many agents and people that are tied to the business somehow are getting online. They're using Zoom or doing Facebook Lives or doing whatever they're doing. And, they're preaching all kinds of whatever they believe. But what I believe is going to happen, and what I've already seen, because I've gone back and looked for a few people that were around, say, the beginning of April, mid-April, they kind of just evaporate. The energy that it takes to do it and do it consistently and to do it correctly. And not only that, but to get it out and then to understand something else, that final product is far from the final product. Because as you and I know, we can take little snippets of 1 minute or 30 seconds or 2 minutes and take it out and put it back out again and get a different audience and a bigger reach. And, it's a gold mine. So for every 5-minute video that you're doing, you have probably, I would say, another 3 or 4 different shorter videos, snippets that you could put out there.
Yeah, I call them shorts, and I used to always do the same thing. And when I would do webinars or coaching sessions, I would do like a 1-minute blurb of each one of those. And that's what I did for the Kahuna, right? I love them so much, but at the end, I had 35 minutes worth of footage. I only like to do 3-minute videos, right? 5 if it's really awesome. But I had 5. I watched them make 5 recipes. I filmed it, so I made those, and then I put some nice titles and ending pieces to them and stuff like that, because I love the small business. Right. See, the moment that I've had a lot of great experiences and mentors in my life, Michael Gerber, creator of the E-Myth franchise, Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank, Fred Newcomb, who revolutionized Wall Street and mutual funds. And, dude was just brilliant. A lot of cool people. Jesse Itzler, I got to meet and hang out with a couple of years, 3 years ago. All these people. Jim Quick's book, Limitless, is really just did something. And the moment that we stopped, and not Tom Ferry, what's the son's name? Matthew Ferry. Matthew Ferry's got a great book, How to Create Sales Velocity. When you stop being transactional and start being something more, Matthew calls it conscious or whatever, right? When you start being something more, when you start coming from that contributive place, when you start making Zig Ziglar, when you start making it about other people, something magical happens. Yeah. The problem is so many people are running transactionally. They're just trying to pay their next bills. And I know the vid has had an impact on people. But when you can start making it about other people, you bring back this certain level of joy in what you're doing and fun and everything else like that. All that difficult chasing that one FSBO or 19 agents chasing that expired or circle dialing, all the stuff I've taught, it all goes away.
Yeah.
It all goes away, and all you're doing is having fun.
Yeah.
How do you not love it?
Yeah. And it's nice when they ask you, are you going to be handling my transaction personally, or is someone on your team going to be? And of course, the answer is no, I will be doing it. And that's the answer they want to hear.
Yeah.
Because they see you, they relate to you, they understand you, they bought into you, and that's what they want.
Yeah. I have always had a transaction corner, but this is what I would tell them. I have complete oversight of your file 100% of the way. I have people doing the menial tasks, but no, right. I'm the person. I'm in charge. I'm the captain of this ship.
Yeah. No, that's very true. And, one of the things that you touched on that I think maybe we could talk a little bit more about is the retargeting. I know a lot of folks really aren't too sure what it is to begin with, and if they are, how it works or why it works. You want to kind of dive into that for a minute?
Sure. And so, some of you know, some of you don't know, retargeting is just basically, when you're throwing an ad out there, right? You're throwing it out this big net. What retargeting is basically, here's what you caught. And then, so what can happen is you can start to segment that down and concentrate it down based upon segmentations and things like that, which you will end up costing you less traditionally, because they already know who you're targeting to. They already have the list. Even with your custom audience, you upload all your past clients, their emails and their phone numbers or whatever are associated, right, on Facebook. So you're staying in front of those people. And instead of them having to throw out that net, they already know this is who we're marketing to. That's who we're going to be in front of. So it builds consistency. It builds repetition. People will see you over and over. Now, that point is very important to understand. If they see I unfollow, maybe even unfriend if my news feed gets clogged up or Instagram gets clogged up with an agent that just sold another one. So happy for my buyer. I don't even want to see that anymore. That's about as effective as stubbing your toe.
Okay? Yeah, I don't know why they're sharing with the rest of the realtor community.
Yeah, and now if you did a video, the same thing. What are we calling it? The same experience.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Johnny Moe, and I'm here with Tim and Sally, who just closed on their home today. Tim and Sally, are you excited? Oh, we're wicked excited. Hey, man, what did you think about the process? And what's your advice for anybody looking to buy or sell? You got to call Johnny Moe. All right. You put that out? Because I really don't give a crap what any real estate agent in my era ever thought about what I was doing, and half the time I never accepted their friend requests. And I know people are like, but you might get a referral. I don't work on lights, baby. I work on realities. But anyways,
that's a great line. I have to remember that one.
I just came up with it, so hopefully I remember it too. But anyways, I taken the same experience, the same thing just happened. I just approached it different. And I'm going to get a lot more engagement that way. I'm going to get people saying, wow, I like that. And guess what? When they watch that video, I can build an audience on it. You can't build an audience based upon the person, your mother, your cousin, your brothers, and your father-in-law that click like, right? But you can based upon video watches. So powerful, so powerful.
Yeah, and just I want to bring this point out as well, because it seems to be really popular, and it seems easy to do as well. But this isn't doing videos locally that really focus on just the food and beverage industry. It's not just restaurants. And that's what people have to understand. It could be a local insurance company, right? It could be a local shoe store. It could be anybody. We've got something here. This is an idea that we kind of tossed around too. The folks that make the sweetgrass baskets here in the Charleston area. I mean, those people. So this is dynamic. It's not mono focused in just one area. This is
food, and I push food a lot is because people love food.
Well, they do. I mean, Guy Fieri's made a fortune off it, without a doubt. But the food is easy to do. But I just don't want folks to overlook all the possibilities, because there's every one of those other business owners that you're talking to, the insurance people, the shoes store guy, the sweet basket people, they all need housing. They all have to live someplace. Okay. Eventually they're going to need to buy or sell something or know someone that does. Now they may or may not remember you, but you don't certainly want to neglect any segment of the market. You want to go to all of them. And that's what it is. I think what you're also trying to do and get across is support local, support those businesses. You can go do big box stores, but it's the same thing. Every single city, it's the same thing. You walk into the store, it's set up exactly the same as it was in the last city you just left. So, that's not so attractive. Everyone's got, Costco's or Home Depots or whatever they got. But when you start talking about the mom and pops and the small regional businesses, those are the folks that really not only appreciate it, but that's where you're getting your business from. That's where it's going to come from.
That is the community.
And there is one other thing that, we talked about that I also want to have the folks kind of be aware of, is that when you're doing the videos, you're not just going to stick them in your local area. Okay. You're just not going to put them in your city. Mm-hmm. If you happen to be in a place where you're more of a destination kind of a purchase, okay, you can figure out, if you already haven't figured out, you should figure out where your feeder markets are. And you take those videos and you're sending them to those areas specifically. Exactly. So before they get in their cars or on the airplanes and come to your place, to your location, to your city, your town, they've already engaged with you. They've already seen you and known you. You've already started building that relationship. So,
you know what? You sound like you're telling people that they need to run their business like a business, because this sounds like a marketing strategy.
Yeah, well, think about that, then and that's what I tell so many agents, man. You're in business. This is your business, and that's what you have to do is every day get up and have someone new hire you. That's the only way that you're going to survive.
And I'm going to give you all $1 million idea right now. You can
Okay, please.
be a local chamber of commerce or tourism board or whatever like that and pick up all sorts of swag on the area or move into the area or whatever. You move into Charlestown, get my relocation package that has all sorts of information from the Chamber of Commerce, from the da-da-da-da-da, from the da-da-da-da. Just click in here and we'll get it mailed right out to you. You can make a magazine. Heck, I've made magazines for new construction before working with builders and stuff where they just click here. Yeah, it cost me $2.50 to have each one made and like $5 or $4 to mail it out. But I'll tell you what, when you get a $450,000 new construction landing in your lap, all those worries go away, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm not a genius. I like to surround myself with people that are really smart. I'm not too smart during the day. I went to night school, but I had that same situation where the people coming in through our lead generation systems, 80% or more are coming from outside the state. And one of the first questions we had to retrain the team agents with is to ask, have you ever been to Charleston before? Because so many have not been here, but they've heard great things about it. So their big question is, tell me about it. And I can't tell you how many phone calls I've had explaining it. And that was the brainchild to doing the weekly newsletter, because the weekly newsletter, and here's another $1 million idea out there. If you're in one of these locations, a destination, or even if you're not, it doesn't make a difference. People moving to your area still want to know. So our newsletter is 3/4 of the way filled with local events and happenings that are taking place this week in town. That's it. The last quarter, maybe eighth of the show is about real estate, and that's just giving some stats. Hey, this is what the market's doing. It's up this week over here. It's down this week over there. The numbers are this and that. But people they're craving that information about Charleston. And now they feel so special because it's getting delivered right to them. They're getting an email that's actually addressed to them. They're opening it. They're seeing it. They're learning more. And what is that doing? It's building trust. And that's exactly what Explore My Town is going to do for anyone that comes on board with Johnny Moe and the rest of the crew to do this, because guys, it doesn't get any easier at this point. I'm not trying to sell anything. I don't get anything from Johnny, being totally transparent, but I got to tell you, I've been through the mill. I've done this. I've done the training. I mean, I was a trainer for years. I, ran an MLS. I, had a good sized brokerage going. I've done all of this stuff. I had multiple state brokerages. When this package was presented to me, I'm like, dude, where have you been all my life? I need this.
And I was pretty confident with what you do, what we can do together. That's for sure. And like I said, anybody can do this. Everybody should have some video strategy. Everybody. Yeah. Like I said earlier, you can do Facebook Live 3 times a week. Just make it good and interesting, right? See, I got a face for radio, so it's hard to do video, but I still get, so I still do it. I get responses. The video that I did the other day, within 24 hours, not even, I put it at 6 at night. And then, I looked at it like 6:30 in the morning, and it had 2.6 thousand views on it. No money behind this one. No money behind it. I just did it and promoted it. Put it out there. They shared it. They had their friends share it. Because one of their business pages has 4,600 people following it.
Mm-hmm.
Their other business page has like 2,200 people following it. So when I tag both the business pages, there's 6,600 people seeing it, right? Or potentially seeing it. And then they shared it, and these friends shared it. It got shared 17 times and 2.6 thousand views. That's all goodwill, which you can't put a price tag on. You cannot measure the ROI on goodwill. And secondly, you're subliminally branding Yeah, you're not sitting there regurgitating real estate up, but your logos are there. You're mentioning you're there. And at the end, we train you with a particular exit to say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I support local. Who can I help?
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody wants to be a part of that because guess what? The walls are taken down. You're not just another shark trying to get it. You're actually contributing to the community and the betterment of a cause.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, this is really, a game changer for a lot of people. I know it's going to be for me. I'm going to, when this thing gets up and going, and I want to come back into the group and share what my experience has been for sure. I'd like to invite you back to tell us about the other experiences. I know you've got a few markets going already, and to share with everyone what's happening, how it's growing, how it's doing, what people are thinking, successes as well as failures, and all that kind of good stuff. Because again, to me, it is a game changer. It's really great, and I appreciate you being here. It was awesome to talk to you and spend this time with you, because I know when we get on the phone together or maybe do a video call, we could talk for hours. Yeah, but there's a reason for that too. Like-minded people typically will do that, where you've got the experience, you have the knowledge, you know what's going on, and you know what needs to be done, and you're taking action to do it. You're not just hoping and praying that someday your life is going to change. You're actually doing it, and you're just building on all your previous successes. So it's pretty awesome. I want to thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. It's been an awesome almost hour hanging out with you and talking about this. Let's break this down into snippets or shorts, as you may put it, and get it back out there and share it as far and wide as we can. And that would be pretty awesome.
It is, but you forgot to hit record, so we're all screwed.
Damn it. I have a solution for that. All right, my man. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Everyone out there, be safe. We'll see you all soon. Talk to you.
Get you.
We're out. Bye.